What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. How we doing today, Casino?
Not too shabby. Best way to put it. Doing pretty good. Feeling great. God, it slept a little wrong, and like my back has been my sciatica has been a little bit messed up, but besides that, pretty great. Pretty great. You? How about you? How about your feeling? How are you feeling?
Yeah, my lower back is I mean the kindest word I can use is destroyed. It's just over. It's just done. I can barely what is it? Bend over, which I have to do often, Casino. I can't pick up anything. And then my 4-year-old this morning woke me up by jumping directly on my back. So it's just been,
Don't you
I
love
mean,
them?
yeah, it's been going on for a couple days. But besides that, I mean, I'm just having the time of my life. I was watching Shaun of the Dead this morning, as I said on the last episode for the other YouTube channel I do with movies, going to do 31 days of zombie movies, starting with my favorite zombie movie of all time. And dare I say, a perfect movie. That movie is a perfect movie.
I thought you said
10
you
out
were
of
going to
10.
start with Night of the Living Dead.
No, that was the second one. I
Oh,
started with Shaun of the Dead, going with my favorite, then the original, and then branching out from there. I wrote all 31 movies I'm gonna watch. Like
how many
half of them
times
I've
did you
seen.
giggle in Shaun of the Dead?
Dude,
Just from start to finish?
I'll tell you what, some of it is really, really funny. Like the first joke that really got me is the part where it's, oh God, her two friends are in the other room, Sean's like
Mhm.
girlfriend and his two friends are in the other room, and he's like, you called, I think isn't it Dwayne or something like that? And he's like, you called Dwayne a cunt and Lisa a failed actress. And then Sean goes, I never called Lisa a failed actress. And then it's just that movie's so that movie's so good. It's legitimately a perfect movie. And what I always forget about it is it's a really slow build, and you see all these little Easter eggs to where the zombie, like you see like the paper, and then you see like the two people at the bar where the guy's head falls off, and then you see like the Sean's going to work and like the guy just drops and everybody kind of like rushes to him, and you kind of, it's like a gradual build. And then at the
That's
end,
so clean how they do that.
yeah, and then at the end, it just straight up becomes like a terrifying zombie movie where they're in the Winchester and like I keep saying Dwayne. I know that's not his name, but the friend with the glasses who kind of looks like grown-up Harry Potter, he is like by the window. The zombies grab him out the window, and then it cuts to everybody like terrified. When it cuts back to him, he's just completely open in the middle, and the zombies are like pulling his guts out and all that kind of stuff. Like, it very gradually just goes from like a funny movie to like a kind of scary zombie movie to literally like a worst case scenario zombie movie where it's like terrifying.
And then it
And
just ends
it's,
perfectly.
yeah,
Just
and then it
ends
just
so dumb.
ends. What is it? Just on a joke, like on a callback. They said 5 minutes into the movie where the roommate is, where Pete's just like, he should be living in the shed, and then at the end of the movie, he's just a zombie living in the shed. And also, underrated joke in that is where at the end of the movie they have all the TV broadcast of now how the world has implemented zombies into the world, and they just have them on game shows and like returning shopping carts.
Dylan.
It's Dylan, that's what it was. I knew it was something D, but it's again, it's a perfect movie.
It's so
Perfect
good.
movie. I love that movie. But we are not here today to talk about zombie movies, Casino, at
Thought
least not
so.
on this podcast. We are here today to preview week 5 of the NFL. But before we do that, have you been watching any of the MLB playoffs?
I have. You know who I've not been watching in the MLB playoffs is the Mets. That's a little shout out to last episode. Um, yeah, no, I've been watching it. I actually went to the bar yesterday. It worked out perfectly to watch the Reds end of the Red Sox game.
Mhm.
Which, by the way, I got my Boston gear on right now. But no, yeah, it worked out great because I had to go to my allergist, and the appointment took way longer than expected. And so my wife had to take the kids to the gym. So I was like, oh, hey, I got out right as you were taking the kids. You want me to pick them up or meet you there, take them." And then she was like, "No, it's okay." So I was like, "I get 45 minutes to myself." Whoop, went
You had
down
to go for what?
to my allergy appointment.
I gotta put more. Uh,
I'm sorry. I have bad allergies, okay? It is what it is. Leave me alone.
but also speaking of the playoffs or
So,
whatever,
yes.
currently right now, it's the top of the ninth, Tigers, Guardians. Guardians are up 6-1 when we're recording this. It's the top of the fourth with the Padres and the Cubs. It is 1 p.m. on a Wednesday. Again, why
I
are
mean,
we doing playoff games?
it's the wild card. It works better for them right now, honestly. So, because a lot of these games are being, well, yeah. I mean, this one's in Chicago. I mean, they're in Chicago. They're in where are we? Where they're in Cleveland, and they're also in New York. Um, and then the later game, the Dodger game, is at 6 here, local. So, Pacific time. So I get it. Wild card
I
games.
hate it.
Hopefully,
I
as
hate
we
it.
get, I know, but time zone. It's a bitch, okay? It's a bitch. It's a thing and it's a bitch, all right?
Yeah,
Get
but
over it.
even to tomorrow, the Tigers Guardians game is at 10 a.m. West Coast time. That's still what, 3 hours ahead on the East
Yeah,
Coast?
but
Everyone's still at work. I
you
mean,
think
obviously,
everyone's at
except
work.
us.
No. I you think everybody's at work. No, I was watching a lot. There was a lot of people wearing like luchador masks and stuff like that. And that's not because they're trying to, be cool and represent their culture and whatever, with their team. No, they're trying to skip work. They're trying not to get caught.
Yeah.
That's at least what the guy at the bar said. I thought it was really funny
Well,
because he was
and
trying to
then
bring that
we
up about the
have
Yankees guy, and I was like, because the guy had a Yankee luchador mask on, and I was like, it's like 7 o'clock. They're not at work, and he was like, oh, good point.
well, also apparently, Dodgers fans had to get back to work because yesterday that entire stadium was filled, and then all of a sudden behind home base, it's the sixth inning, and all those seats are basically empty. Great look, Dodger fans, for your first playoff game. Looks, especially with how much money you paid for those tickets. Like I know it's the
It's
Reds, but
probably
dear
not. I mean, a
lord,
lot of those tickets are probably corporate tickets,
yeah,
and
they were
so
like, "Up, it's 8 p.m.
yeah, the
Got to get out
company's
of here."
paying for them. Like, so it is what it is.
I
Um,
hate that. That's why
yeah.
that's why sports suck now.
So right
Every
now,
playoff game, it's just people don't give a shit about the sport. I hate it.
right,
I
right.
hate it.
So right now it is trending, which I don't want this trend to continue. So the Tigers and the Cubs won game one. Currently, the Guardians are beating the Tigers and should. It's the top of the ninth, 6-1 right now for the Guardians. The Pods game just started, well, middle of the fourth. Padres are up on the Cubs 1-0. This is trending in a direction I don't like because the Red Sox and Yankees play here at 3 Pacific time. And I really, really, really hope that the Red Sox do not follow the trend and lose to the Yankees in this game. So, for those of you who don't know, if you're watching and you're confused, because normally when you're watching a series, it goes from one place to the other. In the baseball wild card, it goes all 3 games are going to be playing at the team that has the higher seed or the lower seed. So, all games are played in New York for the Red Sox, Yankees. All games are played in Cleveland for the Tigers, Guardians. Same with Chicago for Cubs, Padres, and LA for Dodgers, Reds. A lot of people were not really happy about that when I was talking to them yesterday that don't really follow baseball. And I'm like, well, it's a 3 game series. They want this one over quick because they just kind of added this wild card in as best they could so they can make the playoffs a little more interesting. So, yeah, it stinks, but it is what it is. So, on our picks, we said the Tigers, or actually, no, we didn't even pick those. We just said LA. We just said LA, Philly, or Milwaukee is going to go out of the NL, but any team could come out of the AL. And right now, it's kind of showing. I mean, that Red
Yeah.
Sox Yankees game was real close. There was bases loaded, no outs, with Red Sox up 3-1, and Yankees were at bat. So that could have gone south real fast for me. I watched the end of that game, so I'm excited. I've liked the intensity of playoff baseball. The fans are really into it. Every stadium is sold out. I enjoy
Except if you're
watching that,
in LA.
except for when you're in LA just to start
Yeah.
or to finish the game. People leave. Yeah, Dodger fans.
Dude,
Don't care for
especially
him.
what is it? The same thing happened in Reds Dodgers that happened Yankees Red Sox, where it was bases loaded. I think it was in the eighth. I want to say bases loaded with the Reds. I believe at that point it was like 5-8, maybe 5-9, and bases were loaded. They had no outs, and the crowd, I'll tell you what, I do not like sad fans like you do. I really
Why
do
not?
like, especially during baseball, I really do like how the cameraman was just like, I'm going to pick a new nervous looking Dodgers fan and put them on the screen every 30 seconds. So it would go, oh, we're watching the pitcher like warm up, and then it would go nervous Dodgers fan. And then it would go first pitch, and then it would be different nervous Dodger fan. And
That's
it did
great.
that for, I think, two whole innings. It was fantastic.
I
Really
absolutely love
compelling
it.
television. Great television.
That's great.
Again, the product is good. The television shows are great. The playoff mustaches are impeccable. The
Mhm.
times when these games are being played are dumb. It's dumb. And also, it's like, oh, hey,
But
maybe I work.
not every game can be on the right time for everybody. Either they're gonna start at what, at 8 PM? So 8
But
PM
I'm not even
Eastern?
saying that. The Reds Dodgers played yesterday at 6:08. They played today at 6:08. They play tomorrow at 6:08. Why are you putting all the games at the same stadiums at the same times 3 days in a row? What if a huge Dodgers fan works 4 to midnight? He just has to miss all these games just because they're
They're
all
doing
at the same. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's awful. And yeah, I agree with the people you're saying.
it all comes down to who has television rights to when and what. I mean, ESPN has now got everything. So now they're gonna have to try to somehow juggle every single sport, every single game, and like this is gonna get pretty dicey going moving forward. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
why monopolies are
what are they
dumb.
what are they
That's
supposed to be doing when hockey's in the start of the hockey season rolls, right? Because ESPN has hockey now. And then you have, so say you have hockey, you have an NFL game, and you have a playoff baseball game, all supposed to be happening on an ESPN network. That's I mean, that's tough.
yeah, it's one will be on ABC, one will be on ESPN, one will be on ESPN2, one will be on the app. Like it's just what's going to happen, and that's why it's dumb. That's why baseball, I've said it all year. I've said it for 2 years. Baseball has the dumbest rights to show their games of any sports network. It's not even close. Not even close. They were doing games exclusively on Apple TV that you could get nowhere else. Who the hell
Oh,
has
yeah, no,
Apple
I've
TV to
I've
watch?
barely watched. Yeah, I've barely watched any of the Red Sox this year because, I mean, you have to for them to have it on NESN, right? Because they play and they show it on the New England Sports Network. You have to first off have a cable service, and then you have to have the sports package, and then after you have the sports package, then you have to buy the specific sports apps that you want or sports shows that you want. Like, it's just ridiculous. So and then when you want try to watch it now on the whole ESPN thing, again, $30 extra a month on top of the plan you're already paying for is just ridiculous. So
Yep.
you have to pay what, $60 a month just to watch, a couple games. Like, blow it out your ass.
Well, also for the perfect example of why this scheduling is dumb, Padres Cubs plays at 12:08. So if you're in Chicago, that's 3 p.m. Most people work 9 to 5. So if you're a Cubs fan, you're missing minimum the first what, 3 innings, 4 innings. If you're a Padres fan, that's noon on the West Coast. Most people work 9 to 5. You're missing the entire game. So who does this benefit with the West Coast and East Coast time? It's 3 p.m. and noon
I mean,
for
and
two fan bases.
I
Like
see what you're saying. And also, I
on a
mean,
Wednesday, on a
productivity is
Tuesday.
also going to be way down because I know multiple people who are Red Sox fans here in town. And what were they doing? They weren't done with work yet when the game started at 3. They finished off watching the game. They started watching the game at work till they got off work, and then they went off to wherever to finish the game.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, especially because these games also being wild cards, all the games were good yesterday. Even Reds Dodgers, at one point, it was like, are the Reds going to do this? The first two at bats for Otani, he hits home
yeah.
runs
And
both
as we
times.
talk right
So
as we're talking right now, Guardians did finalize it out. It is 6-1. That series is tied 1-1. Um, let's see. Let's see. This is gonna be fun. Going tomorrow, another game.
Yeah, Padres are 1-0, switching
One
over
one
to the
up.
bottom of the 4th. Yeah.
Yep.
So, again, dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. But the games have been good. I just wish people could watch them, but, the MLB apparently doesn't care about, I don't know, people watching their product, whatever, whatever. Next up, Casino, let's move on to week 5, or do we wanna do
Well, I just
no.
want to highlight next week, probably Monday or Tuesday, if we don't have time Monday, but we will do it Tuesday if we don't have that time. We will be previewing the NHL playoff or NHL playoffs, the NHL start of the season. I will have a couple fun top 10 situations there. Um, I'm really excited for that. And I'm really excited for this season. I'm really, really excited. Not only because the Knights have a real good chance of going this year, especially with that new guy they picked up, Mitch Marner from the Maple Leafs. Very excited. I'm just excited. Hockey's back. Hockey is back. I know you finally fell in love with hockey over the last couple years. Uh,
Yeah,
it's al-
buddy.
it's always been a love of mine. The speed, the aggressiveness. It's great. I can't
I'll
wait.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Vegas Golden Knights are the one team I didn't have to switch my allegiance for when they moved to Vegas because I didn't have a hockey team before them. And then I was like, "Oh, they're
Well, yeah.
getting a hockey team, gotta support them." And
I
bam.
mean, again,
Never been a Friars guy.
brand new franchise. I had to do that. Bruins are number 2. Now I love my Bruins, but they are number 2. And whenever Vegas gets their own NBA team and not a new expansion and not a transfer team, the Celtics will become number 2. I got to support my local teams. I love it.
That'll be same with me and the Sixers, just
That's
so the
why I will
pain
never be an
ends.
A's fan. That's why I will never be a Raiders fan. You stupid, stupid franchises that just bounce around from town to town because you guys can't figure it out.
You know, I was actually really thinking about that, the other day. Me and a friend, at work, now we're talking about my coworker, Casino.
You
Me
have
and one
so
of
many
my
coworkers.
I know. Well, that's where we also have most of our conversations because when we're not at
So
work, we're just
true.
around our children.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my children
I
has
go I go to work to get away from my family in the best way. I love my family, I do, but that is my time. That is
Yeah.
my time because my job's not hard, and yes, I'm busy bee, but I don't have to think about anything else going on besides that, and it's easy. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. But we were talking about how when the Raiders moved to Vegas, it was weird because they're so like kind of ingrained in Oakland and like, the Oakland Raiders, like bad boys, like all that kind of stuff. It just doesn't fit Vegas. You know what team would have perfectly fit Vegas? The Los Angeles Chargers should have
All
moved to
day. They
Vegas.
should have came to Vegas.
They have no fan base, like, they have no real identity, like, they weren't even really tied to San Diego that much, like, them moving to Vegas would have been literally perfect because
But they would
everybody
have had to
just
change the name.
yeah, it would have been just go Las Vegas Chargers or whatever. And that
Mhm.
color scheme, like that kind of feel of that team, I feel like would have been much more embraced by Vegas than what I feel like the Raiders have been, which is the only people that embraced the Las Vegas Raiders were people who were already Raiders fans.
Yeah, that
You don't
move I mean,
get
because Vegas has turned into a mini California, and it's still going that way.
Yeah. But see, but like the way the city has embraced like the Golden Knights and even to a lesser extent the Aces has kind of
Oh,
been like night and day difference to where the Raiders. I don't
but
see really any
here's
Raiders
the thing is
like
I don't think even if the Chargers moved, I don't think they would have been as good as the fan love and fan base that the Knights have, that the Aces have, and I truly even say that. I wholeheartedly say that because they're brand new Vegas franchises. It's something that we can call
yep,
our own in a world in this Vegas world that is a sports town, always has been, that we finally got some pro teams. That's why you see Aces. Um, they're back in the finals, by the way. They just went, which was crazy. They went into OT last night against the Fever. If Caitlin Clark was still healthy, they probably would have won everything. But anyway, so the Aces are back in the finals. This is 3 times in 4 years. This team in this town, they want to be there for their sports teams. Like our arena football team just won their national title, and which is awesome. I don't think it's going to be too long before the pro volleyball does. I know hockey, the minor league is not doing all that great, but that's because we always have to bring people up because the Knights always get hurt, sadly. So all those good players that should be on the Silver Knights team, they're always playing in the pros and doing well. So I feel like they would have had a Cauldron Trophy now by now if they didn't have to keep calling them up. However, that's why I mean the Raiders. It just feels like it's just a place for a team that doesn't live here plays. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's an offsite destination for the Oakland team. There's so many Oakland fans that drive into town every Raiders game that they still have their season tickets. And how I know that is because I either driving to or driving back from California to my mother-in-law's house, and it's like a game day weekend or a game weekend here in town. The amount of Raider flags and people going to town from California to go to the Raider game is ridiculous. All right, we spent too much talking about the Raiders.
But I will say, to
Ah,
put a pin in this, I will say it will be really
random tangent.
interesting. It will be really interesting to see what happens if the NBA team is an expansion team, because I feel like that's a thing that will be embraced, like the
Oh,
Knights.
by
Team from
far.
scratch, like
And they
NBA.
will be playing at T-Mobile Arena, which every Knights fan loves, and they know how to get in and out of there. And they
Yeah.
built that arena specifically to be both hockey and basketball related. So, I mean, you've seen a lot of college games played there already. So,
Yeah.
I'm really excited, and I hope one
Within
day
if
we
if
see
we
this
didn't
NBA
if we
team.
don't have an expansion NBA team in the next 3 years, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked.
What would
But
what would you think they should be called?
I've always liked the Vipers. I think a
Yeah.
snake theme would be good. I
That
like,
just seems minor league to me.
see, I would see, honestly, the perfect one that would fit Vegas, I mean, it's already a team. It would have been the Las Vegas Magic, because you have, kind of the magic capital of the world and all that kind of stuff.
But with
Would have been
with
perfect,
the
but
Aces, they're gonna probably have to do something else, something
gamblers
similar to
would be
that.
dumb. It's gonna be, I don't know, the
Hmm,
blackjack or something. I don't know.
yeah.
Uh,
Leave us down in
or
the
it'll just
comments
be
which
or it'll just be random as shit. Like nobody would have projected the Golden Knights. It'll just
well,
be
I mean, that was pretty I mean, if you did your research, you kinda knew that one was coming because the guy who owns the Golden Knights, all of his franchises are the Knights. Like,
yeah.
everything that he owns are the Knights this or Knights that. So, it was pretty telling that it was coming. I mean, you got the
Yeah.
Nighthawks. I think he owns part of them as well, like, and they spell it like a night,
Yeah.
K-N-A
So then
I
maybe we just need to see who owns the franchise, and maybe they just name it after something they like. It has nothing to do with Vegas,
yeah.
which I think I would prefer, because Vegas, it's always so corny when people are just like, "Oh, gambling, Sin City." Like if it's like the Las Vegas Sin or something like that, like, I'll throw up in my mouth. But all right, casino. It is time for us to do our NFL Week 5 predictions with the good, the mid, and the ugly. And I don't know if you knew this, but it's October 1st, which means it's spooky season. So, oh no, it's spooky now. The pumpkins are coming from the house. If you can't see, there's spooky pumpkins, says the good, and the ugly. NFL Week 5. As always, we start with the ugly. And obviously, Casino and I are dumpy, but we're not ugly. So we're not talking about us.
Right.
We're
I've been hitting
talk.
that gym. I've been hitting that gym.
Casino's been hitting the gym. I also went to the gym this morning, so both of us are, as Fergie said.
I know that doesn't impress a lot of people right there, but if you used to see what I looked like, whoo, dear Lord, I
If
put in
you
some work.
think this is dumpy, you could just imagine. But let's start with the ugly games first, Casino. Nothing more ugly than, uh, I guess, if you're, let's say, 0 and 4, 0 and 1 and 3, and we have a matchup between those two, which is the 1 and 3 Giants at the 0 and 4 Saints in New Orleans. A game where
There's
if
a
Jackson
lot
Dart
of
was not starting this game, I don't think a single person would watch this football game.
I mean,
This is
even if he was starting, if he didn't have a good game, last
That's
week.
true.
If they did not win last week, and it doesn't even matter if Jackson Dart was having his second start or not, if they lost last week, nobody would give a shit about this game.
Or also,
0.
if he threw like 3 interceptions and just looked awful, awful, like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like this would be completely off everybody's radar.
And so this is actually, the Saints are favored by a point and a half. So and you know what's crazy is it opened with, New York minus 2.5, and it is currently now at plus 1.5 for the Giants.
Oh, also, we didn't do our picks on Mondays because we still had different Monday night football games. What ended up happening, Casino, was Jets Dolphins was not the worst game. It's actually kind of entertaining. Did you see that
Eh,
one run by Justin
no,
Fields? That
I
was
did not.
insane.
I did not. I'm not watching these Monday night games because 'cause they're on ESPN, and I'm
Oh, that's
not
true.
going out to see them, and I'm not paying an extra $30 a month on top of everything else, on top of the almost $500 for fucking NFL Red Zone and Sunday Ticket, where you only get a quarter of the games, or, 3 quarters
Yeah.
of the games. Like, my wife still doesn't understand that. She's like, "We paid all this money and we can't watch this or that." And I'm like, "Yeah, rights. Rights to game.
Yeah.
Welcome to the horrible shittiness of television rights." Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
Also, what I did watch both Monday night games. I was flipping back and forth. Dolphins Jets was much more entertaining than Broncos Bengals, which I did not realize. I put Broncos winning as my upset pick because the Bengals were favored. You had Jets Dolphins as the worst game, which was not. I had Texans Titans as the worst game, which it was. So after this
And I
week,
think, did I pick Dolphins to win this? Or
yeah,
did
no, I picked Dolphins, you picked Jets. That was
Yeah,
the
I
one
did real
game where
bad
we
this week.
switched. Yeah, you got 6 correct choices this week. I
Mm,
got 9. So going into this
I'm still ahead of
upcoming
you.
week 5, Casino has 40 games predicted correctly. I have 39. So Casino is clutching onto that 1 game lead
Yeah, but
as we
you're
head into week
crazy
5.
to think I only had 6 points. I'm only gonna have 6 points again moving forward. No. I'm about to go on a sleigh. I'm about to get the 14, 13 point weeks like I normally am accustomed to. Let's
Sure,
go.
buddy. Sure, buddy.
I
Well,
can't let
first,
you beat me 2 years in a row. This is just not gonna happen.
this technically is. We've been doing this for 3. This will be our 3rd year. So you won 2 years ago. I won last year. This is technically like for all the marbles. So, and by for all the marbles, I mean whoever will be ahead next year when we also do it. But it'll be who's in the lead because
Yeah.
right now we're tied. So, for Giants Saints, who you picking, Casino?
I'm gonna go Giants. I'm going with the Jackson Dart show.
Ooh. Now Malik Neighbors is out. He is going to be out for the season.
That's
It
fine.
was a torn MCL or ACL, I mean. And for that reason, I like what I see from the Giants, but Saints have a lot of fight in them. We're starting off different. I'm going Saints just
That's
to at
fine. I mean,
least make this
they have
interesting.
Slayton. Slayton just has to step up, which I think he will. They have Scatabo, and I think he is great. Um, I'm confident. I'm confident. I'm confident in the Giants. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
Saints 22nd in the league in offense. Their passing offense worse than I would say when you're watching the games. It's they're 27th in the league. And again, Giants, we don't know what we're going to get with Dart. Maybe last week was a outlier. It's not like he like lit it up. He was still good,
No.
but it's he didn't do nothing crazy. And then again, Saints defense. What do you think the Saints defense is overall right now? Take a guess. Knowing the Saints are
Uh,
0 and 4.
27th.
They're 18th in
Oh,
the
damn.
league in total defense,
That's
and the
pretty good.
Giants are 29th. So that's what I'm saying. If they can just ride that defense, and Spencer Rattler looks as kind of competent as he has, again, I'm thinking Saints get their first
That's
victory here.
that's fine. That's a good call. I like that. I like that. I mean, obviously the all the betting favors what you're talking about. So
Yeah, and again, on all the other things, yards per game, points per game, time of possession, they're all relatively close to each other. I mean, the time of possession difference is like 2 minutes, and that's between 8th in the league and 23rd. So Again, I think both have a zero total turnover difference. So very evenly matched teams. Again, Saints first win. Next up, Casino. This I think both these teams are entertaining. So I don't know if this will be mid, but I think just record wise and where these teams are at right now, I think we have to put it in ugly. 1-2-1 Dallas Cowboys at 0-4 New York Jets. Again, I
Man,
think just record base, they have to be at ugly, even though I think this game will be entertaining.
yeah, I'm actually gonna go Cowboys on this. I think the Jets go 0-5, and the reason the Cowboys have been putting up points, right? And
Yes.
I know the Jets defense is pretty okay. It's not great, but it's okay. You can tell me where they are in on defense, but
They're 14th against the pass
yeah,
and 20th overall.
see, yeah, pretty. They're
So,
okay. They're
yeah.
okay, but I like what I've been seeing from Dak. Dak has really stepped up, and everybody thought, okay, without having CD Lamb, they were going to be screwed, and they still took it to the wire against a team that we thought was going to be, a little bit better, and being able to shut the door on the Cowboys, but did not with the Packers. So you know what? I'm gonna go with Dak Prescott here. I like it. I think he's playing well. I mean, I don't want him to play well. I don't care for the Cowboys because I hate Jerry Jones. Everybody does, but I'm gonna go Cowboys. Even though I think Justin Fields coming back is going to be nice and help out the Jets a little bit, especially in the run game. But Cowboys, I think they're going to go 2-2-1 because ties are a thing and they suck.
Yeah, we should do a whole why ties shouldn't exist rant, but I feel like we already have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also going Cowboys. Again, I think the Jets are fun to watch. I think they're entertaining, especially when you just let Justin Fields just kind of do what he does in the open field. He had that great run Monday night against the Dolphins. And again, they had that shootout in week one against the Steelers. Like
Mhm.
half the games the Jets have played have been really entertaining, fun games, and they're still 0-4.
Yeah, I
The
think this is going to be
Cowboys,
another fun one.
yeah, the Cowboys also, this is setting up to be a shootout because again, the Cowboys are allowing 420 yards per game. They're averaging allowing almost
That's
422
wild.
yards a game. It's insane. And then also they're allowing almost 300 passing yards a game and rushing. They're at least up. Where are they? They are at least 20th, which still is allowing 123 rushing yards per game. So they allow a lot of passing yards, a lot of running yards. That's exactly what, if you're the Jets, the team you want to play to kind of get your first victory. I'm going the Cowboys strictly because I don't think the Jets can win in a shootout. And the Jets defense is at least competent, but you just watch the
Yeah,
Cowboys and they just
absolute
play.
demolish a great defense. So
Yeah, they just play really good. Again, I've been insanely impressed by, we knew the Cowboys offense going into this season would be good. I don't think we realized it would be this good, especially with CD Lamb like out. That is, I don't think it's
Dak's
winning
playing
football.
well. Dak is playing well. He's earning his money right now. He's making games interesting. Um, yeah,
Yeah, he's
he's
keeping
got
them in
his
them.
team. He's keeping them. I mean, this is gonna be a tough tall or tough,
Tough
t-
task.
tough task. Thank you. To I still can't say it right. It's an uphill battle for the
There you go.
Cowboys to be able to make the playoffs, but it is nice to see that Dak hasn't given up, especially with that crazy trade with Parsons. So it's nice to see that he's trying because I've never disliked Dak himself. I just don't care about the Cowboys and Jerry Jones. So it's
Yeah.
it's good to see Dak fighting it out.
And
All right.
also, I think it's kind of just how much publicity he gets.
Oh yeah.
If he played on the Panthers and was putting up these numbers, I feel like he'd just be a guy you kind of mentioned in passing where you're just like, oh, that guy's fun to watch. But with
Yeah.
how much it's put on the Cowboys, it's annoying. All right, next up, I think four more ugly games. This is a rough week.
Yeah. There's
Next up, let's talk about the 1-3 Texans at the 1-3 Baltimore Ravens, who Lamar Jackson, apparently it was a legitimate injury because he will potentially be out for 2 to 4 weeks with, I believe it's a hamstring injury. So No Lamar Jackson this game. Houston Texans, again, scored 6 points in almost 3.5 quarters against the worst team in the league in the Titans. Uh, it's in Baltimore. Thoughts on this one, Casino?
This is gonna be it's gonna be rough. But what we did see, over the previous year when you had Cooper Rush come in for Dak when he was injured, Cooper Rush is competent, right? He can go out there and get you some wins. And I mean, obviously he's not gonna play better than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a phenom, right? So I'm still going to go with Baltimore in this game because I have not trusted anything with Houston at all. I know that they finally got that win against the Titans, but again, that's against the Titans who are possibly going to get the number one overall seed again. There's a lot of teams playing really bad right now. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of 0-4 teams. I mean,
0 and 4 and 1 and 3. I feel like every team this week, every game this week has one of those two combinations.
yeah,
Like either a 1 and 3 team playing or an 0 and 4 team playing.
Yeah,
It's
it's rough. I mean, we've started our bye weeks, right? So we have what the Packers are on a bye. Who else are on a bye? Um,
uh
I'll
actually
let you figure that
I
one.
didn't even notice we were starting buys this
Oh
week
yeah, I know we're on a
because
bye
what they
because I
start in week 5.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is week 5.
yep. This is week 5. This is when things get real. So I'm gonna
So
go
it is
Ravens in this one.
the 4 teams on a bye: Falcons, Bears, Packers, Steelers.
There you go.
So, yeah. Eh.
So I'm going Ravens. I just can't trust the Texans. They're worse than what they were last year. I've got to stick with the Ravens and their run game at least, and hopefully Justice Hill goes off again because I had to pick him up in my fantasy.
I will say, I think again, the Texans, their offense is abysmal, right? In the total offense of the league, they're 25th in total offense. Total defense, they're 5. So they have a top 5 defense, a bottom 5 offense in this league. And when you watch the games, that is never more evident because they can't score points. I believe
Jeez,
even last week, after an offensive flurry, they're still the least scoring offense in the entire league.
dude,
That
get this: the Baltimore this game, it opened at -3.5 for Baltimore. It is now -1.5 for Houston.
And that's I mean, that's the Lamar Jackson effect. If Lamar, which is
Yeah,
sad
that's
because
huge.
I think this would have been a perfect bounce back game for the Ravens because again, the Ravens defense, the only comparable bad defense in the league to them is the Cowboys. The only what is it? The only reason the Ravens would have won this game is because their offense was lights out, and it doesn't matter how good your
But
defense is,
see,
you're not
that's
stopping
why
Lamar
I
Jackson.
I'm trusting in Cooper Rush in this because he showed me he's a competent quarterback when he needed to go and fill in for Dak.
True.
And he's got comparable, if not better, pieces on this Ravens offense. So it just still comes down to the Ravens defense, which I just still haven't seen enough from Houston offensively. I mean, I know they did what they did to the Titans, but that's the Titans. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have to go with Baltimore in this because I just haven't seen enough from Houston. At least we know Baltimore can keep it in games.
You know what? And for that reason, I'm going Texans. I'm
That's
going
fine.
Texans. I just think their defense, again, if you let Cooper Rush beat you, I know it's on the road, but again, he's a backup quarterback in this league for a reason. We see so many bad quarterback play all over the league every week.
Yeah, but
Uh,
backups have done well this year so far. You had Mac Jones, you had Marcus Mariota. Like some backups have come in and played well. Jackson Darts now he came out and got his first win when he's technically the backup. Like, eh, come
True.
on now. Browning was able to win a game. Did he? Or he did he
I
win the
think he
game? Or he
won. No, I don't think he's won. I don't think, or they're 2-2. So yeah, he has to have
Yeah,
won
I
one
think he
game.
won that one game where he had to come in. Yes, where he came in
Yeah.
late after. So I don't know. Do you give him that win? I don't know. Well,
I'm just saying Texans are a healthier team. You know, the Ravens, I saw where 8 of their 11 starters on defense are out with like multiple week injuries. 8 of 11 starters on
I mean,
defense. That
it
is
hasn't.
insane. But I'm going Texans just simply for their
Yeah,
defense.
we've
I
talked too
think
much
with
about this ugly game.
Yeah, I think regardless, this is going to be a definition of an ugly game. And hopefully, this is the week where we just see Derrick Henry rush for like 185 yards and get
Yeah.
back on track.
What other
But
ugly game do you wanna talk about?
let's see. The 1-3 Dolphins at the 1-3 Panthers. There are so many 10 a.m. games where who is watching these? Who's going to watch Carolina and the Dolphins? Who's going to watch Houston and Baltimore? Who's
Well, a
going to
lot of
watch?
people are gonna watch the Dolphins because they wanna see what happens without Tyreek Hill, which, by the way,
Oh,
shout out to Tyreek
brutal.
Hill. Sorry that happened to you, and it seems like you're happy to we won't really have
Yeah,
to get
that
into
was
that. It seems like you're
a
happy to get out of
weird
there.
reaction. I guess that's what happens when you don't have to play for this Dolphins team anymore.
I
Because
just don't think he wants to play with Tua and Mike and for Mike anymore. Like, it just
yeah,
ugh. But
ugh.
that was gross. Luckily, it's not as bad as I thought it was. When I first saw it, I thought he was done. I thought that was, like, career
Career
ending.
ending? Oh, it's not? I still
No.
thought it was.
So, it was just a dislocated knee where he tore his ACL, and then he tore a couple ligaments. No blood flow damage, no, uh, nerve damage. There was none of that,
So
which
this
is just
wasn't an
mind.
Alex Smith Theismann situation with the
No.
leg.
So,
That's good.
apparently, they were it's just super dislocated, and yes, he dislocated, and he tore a couple things, again, couple ligaments, but you can attach those again with modern medicine, and then the ACL is the ACL. So, but
Not bad.
it was gruesome to
Yeah, that
watch,
was
and
gross.
here's the thing that makes me just, like, go, "Eh," is outside of when I'm hanging out with you, is
Yeah.
when just imagine them having to reset his leg before putting it in that air cast.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh
rough.
my god.
But again, like you said, he seemed happy about it. Maybe he knew.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
he knew
mean,
it wasn't as bad as it looked.
so a quick story on something like that where they have to either reset or break or whatever if you've already messed it up real bad. So our mutual friend Chris, right? My best friend. I love you. You know, though, he is my best friend.
So what do you
There
call
were
Chris my friend? I don't know him at all. I think I've had 3 conversations with him in my
Yeah,
entire
that's
life.
weird. Anyway,
Acquaintance.
that's so weird. Anyway, there was
Yeah.
a time where, he was on his dirt bike and, uh, it slipped out from underneath him. He ditched the bike and he actually went over a cliff, which is crazy. Broke his wrist, like, it shattered it and broke his arm and whatnot. But, one of his arm bones, I think the radius, he had to go in and they couldn't put a cast on until it was straightened up. So they had to break his arm after it was already messed up. And so they're like, "Oh, you could come back tomorrow and we could put you under and then pop it or break it, or we could just break it now." And he's like, "Just break it now." And so his mom had to leave the room. She heard the pop from the hallway. So I bring up that story because I think about it every single time. Like when a skater or a player or whatever hurts themselves to where something is not facing the right way or it is and to be able to set it, they have to maneuver it while it's either broken or they have to re-break it or pop things back into place. It just makes me cringe because I heard that story and he's told it to me in depth that I don't know. So like seeing Tyreek Hill's leg, basically his foot touching his kneecap almost or touching his like hip was just the grossest thing ever. And I'm like, oh yeah, they have to reset that. That was the first thing that went through my mind was, oh yeah, that has to be set before that he can leave this place.
Yeah, that's gross.
All right,
That's gross.
moving on. Sorry, that was a big tangent, but oh.
Uh, so who you got in Dolphins Panthers casino?
Um, I'm gonna go Panthers. I'm honestly gonna go Panthers in this one.
Yeah. I
You're gonna go Miami. It's fine.
No, I'm going with my heart. I'm going Panthers as well. It's in Carolina. Again, it's not like the Dolphins, even before Tyreek Hill went out, had a good game outside of that Buffalo game, which again, that was a weird Thursday night game. The Panthers defense is awful. The Panthers offense is, I don't know, mid. They're 24th in the league. The passing offense is 21st. I don't know. Again, they're bottom half. They're not the worst. They're not the best. They're mid. They're mid. Dolphins defense is bad. The Panthers defense is worse. We would be talking a lot about the Panthers defense being bad if we didn't have teams like the Ravens and Cowboys who were having like exponentially like history defining worst defenses. So I think I think Panthers will win this game in Carolina, but again, who's going to watch these games? Who are watching these 10 a.m. games?
I have no
I have
idea.
no idea. But all I have to say is thank
I
God
will
this isn't a
sadly
Thursday
be
night
a
game.
red zone.
Yeah, exactly. But other I think the last ugly game we have on here, Casino, I think 2. 2 last ugly games, 1-3 Raiders at 3-1 Colts. Not only because of the uh difference in record, but just because the Raiders are just playing some ugly games,
Yeah, I
especially out
can't
of
trust
Geno
Geno.
Smith.
Yeah,
No.
I've even benched Jacoby Myers, and that's not because I don't like Jacoby Myers. I think he's a great receiver. It's I can't trust Geno. I can't trust Geno. He's on my bench. I'm trying to trade him. Nobody wants him, rightfully so. They're smart people. I can't, dude. He's 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. God
Yeah.
awful. You need to protect the football. I'm so over it. I am full 100% in the Colts. The Colts are a touchdown away from being 4-0. I think this team is absolutely legit.
Well, they're one penalty away from being 4-0. If they don't get that, the jump what is it? The jump or no,
No,
they
no, no.
that
They
was
won that
almost
game.
2 and 2. Yes, it was the other way. Yeah, they lost to the Rams last week. You're right. But the Raiders, I mean, what? They're 7 interceptions away from being 3-1. Like cuz they're not winning that Commanders game. All the other games, I don't know, maybe if Geno Smith stops turning the ball over, maybe their records reverse, but
Why
the
couldn't
re-
he be played like that when we played him in week 1? Like, I mean, because the Patriots, they're oops, sorry. The Patriots are doing fine with their turnover ratio. I just can't.
yeah.
Well, not
Who would
really.
have
I mean,
thought
but you know what I mean.
who
Their defense is turning over. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Words are hard.
Before the season started, I was like, "Oh no, I have so many Colts players on my fantasy team." And now all those Colts players are just going off and
Well, we knew Jonathan Taylor was an absolute beast before the
he's
season.
the one I don't have. I
Ugh,
have Warren, I have their defense, I believe, and then I have Michael Pittman Jr. All of those have been great. All of them have been great. Daniel Jones, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I felt like that would be more. Right, like, based on the games, but it's really Jonathan Taylor's getting all the touchdowns.
yeah.
I mean, he's
They
only
they
got
get
3,
they
but
get
still.
close. They get close, and they're just like, "Oh, here you go. Have the ball. Run
Yeah.
it in."
And then on the other end, I don't know. I'm just looking to see something out of Genti. I'm looking to see, or another week out of Genti. I'm looking for no interceptions from Gino. And then for this Raiders defense to step up. They're 21st in the league. They're allowing 331 yards a game. Again, I don't know. I had high hopes for this Raiders team, but they kind of look like they shit the bed.
Yeah, I had high hopes, and honestly, it's all because of Geno.
Yeah.
It's because of Geno.
Well, and
This
then you
Raiders
look at
team is not
Sam
bad. On
Darnold.
roster, this Raiders team is actually fairly good, but Geno is just throwing way too many picks, turning over the ball when they in inopportune times, and it is ruining their game.
Yeah, and then you look at Seattle with Darnold, and it's like, oh, he's actually playing pretty good. So
I love
there you
it.
go.
I'm so happy that they're playing well
Last one in the ugly casino. I think it's got to be 0-4 Titans at 2-2 Cardinals.
all day. Again,
I
I am
just,
not high on the Cardinals. The Cardinals will win this game. They have them at 7.5.
yeah.
I can't go for the Titans. I know they're trying to be my upset pick last week, but that I told you that was my last shot for Cam Ward and seeing what he could do with that team. And that team is just bad from top to
And
bottom.
then
That
they
team is
lost
bad.
0-26 to the probably equally as bad Texans.
Yeah. So
Like,
the Cardinals are going to blow this team out. This is not going to be my blowout of the week. Actually, we'll get back to that possibly, but I am going to go Cardinals. They're going to go 3-2, and I just don't get how.
Yeah, I just again, the Cardinals confuse me. None of their on paper they don't look good. When you watch the games, they don't look good. And as Casino said, they're going to be 3-2 after this week. So, again, with Cam Ward, his completion percentage is only 51%. Now you can chalk that up to drops and how bad his receiving core is, but still, it's not going to say that, on the stat sheet when you're just looking at Cam Ward. It's going to say he has 51% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I don't think he's the problem with this team, but I think there's too many problems that he cannot kind of elevate this team to past what they are, which is a bad, maybe worst team in the league. And then Cardinals, is Marvin Harrison Jr. back? Is Trey McBride the best tight end in the league? Those are questions. I don't know. That those are the reasons you watch the Cardinals games. Can Kyler Murray keep it up and actually be a consistently good quarterback all season? I guess those are the interesting things you watch if you're a Cardinals fan. But again, you have a defensive head coach, and your defense is 23rd in the league, allowing 351 yards per game.
Yeah,
That
but we'll
I
we'll
think is the
see.
issue.
So November 14th, that is actually the beta starts the 5th through the 8th of this month. So I don't know. Kyler's gonna start to go downhill from here.
I mean, we gotta check those in. We gotta check
We
those
gotta
in.
check we
Do we
it's
want
it's
this?
funny, but it's really true.
It really is. Do we want to have this game be the half mid, half ugly kind of transition game, which is 3-1 Lions at 2-2 Bengals?
Yeah.
Because so I feel like it's the perfect mid game because I'm out on Cincinnati. I don't like
Oh, all
Browning.
day.
I
I
don't
mean, we
like
all are.
Yeah, I don't like anything I've seen from him. He has 3 touchdowns on the season, 5 interceptions. But then again, this is mid because can the Lions keep rolling? This is my blowout of the week. I'm
I'm gonna
picking
join you. I was gonna join you on that, and that's what actually the spread is. They have Detroit minus 10.5 in this game. The over-under is 49.5. I am gonna take this all day. It started off with Lions 8.5, and so it's moved to 10.5. People are like, yeah, 100%. Like this is gonna be blowout of the week. The Bengals are bad, and we knew it going into this, and I'm very happy that it's happening. I did jump on board before the season started, so you can't say I jumped mid-season. I called
so
I went with you from the get-go as I looked into them. So, yeah, this seems bad. They don't have their superstar. They're nothing.
no. And again, we knew their defense would be bad. Their defense is 30th in the league, only slightly ahead of the Ravens and Cowboys. So their defense, third in the league. They've given up 15 touchdowns this season, almost 400 yards a game in total offense. And then again, their offense is 32nd in the league in total offense. So you take Joe Burrow out of this team, try to plug in all these other guys, and again, I don't know what happened to Chase Brown. I don't know what happened to Jamar Chase. I feel like all of those.
They don't have a quarterback to throw it to him.
Yeah, exactly. You can just funnel that into Jake Browning. No one views him as
And
a
that was
threat.
my big worry about why everybody was like, "Oh, I'm taking Jamar Chase. He's the number 1. Oh, he's clearly gonna crush it." And I'm like, "Y do you not understand that if they don't have Joe Burrow, this is gonna happen? And God forbid something happened to him. Oh, guess what? Something did happen to Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
My son is crying about the situation right now.
God, yeah,
So
this is
we'll
again
see.
season from hell.
We'll see if
I
he settles. If he doesn't settle, I have to step away and get him.
Yeah. But nothing more obvious than this being a blowout than this. Points per game this season, the Lions are first with 34 points a game. Bengals are 30th with 15 points a game. So, yeah, this is going to be, again, an ugly, ugly game. This 10 o'clock window on Sunday is going to be a rough
Well,
watch.
that's the 125.
Oh, that one is 125. So let's see. In the 10 o'clock window, we have Texans, Ravens, Dolphins, Panthers, Raiders, Colts, Giants, Saints, Cowboys, Jets. Every single one of those games we just put in ugly. That is the 10 o'clock window. And then the only saving grace, in my opinion, is Broncos Eagles, which could also potentially be a bad game. So those are the only 10
You're
a.m.
not gonna
games.
even you're putting your Eagles Broncos at a mid?
I was gonna put them at a mid.
Alright,
Do
let's
you
put them
not
at a mid.
agree? Do you think that's gonna be a good game? I don't. I do not. I think
Okay.
this is gonna be, especially just because the Eagles, yes, they're winning these games.
Well,
Outside
we
of that
talked about
Rams
them. They're
game,
they're at mid,
yeah. So
which
let's
I
see.
I honestly thought this was gonna be a better game. My reasons why is they played the Titans in week 1 and they won. They lost to the Colts on a fluky play, right? The leverage play, which they should have won that one, so they should be sitting 2 and 2 realistically.
Or
And
you
then
mean
they
3
played
and
the
1? They're
well,
2 and
that's
2 now. They
yes,
should
3 and
realistically,
1. Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. And then they lost to the Chargers. That was a one-score game. That was a field goal away from tying, right? That was 20-23, and then they blew out the Bengals like they should. The Broncos, they played 2 really good teams, and they blew out the team well, they beat the teams they were supposed to beat. Obviously, week 1 is week 1. Everybody's getting their reps in. Hopefully, you win that game, right? And they did. So, I honestly think this is going to be a good game. I think this is
Alright.
gonna be a good
You know
game
what?
because
We can put
finally
this.
The Broncos are still playing another good team, which they've between the 2 good teams they've played, the Colts and the Chargers, it's only 4 points.
Yeah. You know what? We'll put that. We'll save that for good because
Good.
we have
Thank you.
2. We yeah. I took it into council and they agreed. So we have, I think,
I'm
the
counsel.
two the 2 mid games left, and then we'll talk about the good games this week. I think you have to put Sunday Night Football, your team against the Bills. And
Yes,
again, I think this is mid because
I would agree.
there's a chance this is a blowout, but then there's also chance this is a close game that's fun
Yep,
to
you just
watch.
don't know what you're gonna get yet with the Patriots, right? Are they
Yes.
gonna be that team that turns over the ball 5 times in a game and has 100 yards worth of penalties? Or are they gonna be the team that just played the Panthers and they protected the football and they just looked dominant on all aspects of the game, right? Which team are you gonna get?
Yeah.
Hopefully it's the team. I still expect the Bills to win this game. They were on the docket for me as a loss for the Patriots for the season. After this game, I have the Patriots just going on an absolute tear, by the way. Um, but I'm hoping they play well enough against the Bills to get their momentum going into the next set of games. I say they're going to go on a tear because after this game, they play the Saints. They play the Saints away. They play the Titans away. They play the Browns at home. They play the Browns in New England, the Falcons in New England, and then they get back into playing a tougher team with the Bill or with the Bucks, and then then they play again the Jets, then the Bengals, and then the Giants. They have wins. They have wins where they can win and be a team that is towards the end of the season going in against the Bills, the Ravens, the Jets, and the Dolphins again. They have a chance to be right there at the end of the season to get a 10-win season.
Well, also, who knows what's
Especially
going on with that Ravens team by that point? They might just
right.
have given up fully at that point. So,
Who knows? And that's a very, very big possibility. So I think the Patriots, all they need to do is play well against this Bills team. Um, and I think that'll be enough for them to be like, as long as they don't turn over the ball, as long as they, don't hurt themselves with penalties and they play a clean game of football, but they still lose to a team that is superior to them, which is the Bills, then that you got to take that as a win and use that as momentum going into the next few weeks, next handful of weeks. But um, let's go Patriots. Hopefully they can pull up an upset, but I'm not holding my breath. Bills are going to win this game.
yeah, I think, again, I agree with you. I think there's a chance this game is very competitive, and then people, because again, the Bills are undefeated. I don't like what I've seen from the Bills or the Eagles for those 2 teams to be the 2 undefeated teams.
I
And
I,
again,
I agree with you. I do, but
yeah.
they figure out ways to win, and that makes a good team. That's why I was really excited last week. And one of my favorite games was your Eagles versus Bucks because we knew the Bucks are a mediocre team, but they can fight back and they never give up. And they almost did. They were almost able to do that. That's why I still like the Eagles, even though they haven't played great. They're still undefeated because they know how to close out games. The Bills, they haven't looked great. They've had to lean on their run game for 2 games, but guess what? They can still get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. And then again, Patriots, like you said, probably should have beat the Raiders week 1. Steelers was a touchdown game. They most likely should have won. So
With 5
this
turnovers, yeah, come on.
yeah, this game or these two teams could very well both be
And
4-0
Drake
going
May
into this game.
has the best completion percentage in the NFL right now.
And as many touchdowns as Josh Allen.
He's
And
sitting
has more yards too than
dude, he
Josh
looks
Allen.
great.
So
All he needs that's why I'm really, really hoping my Patriot chat doesn't believe it, and I agree, but I'm just praying. A hope and a whim. Can you make a call and say, AJ Brown, leave my team and go to the Patriots? Because Stephon Diggs is good, but he's also coming back from an injury. I
I
really,
don't
really, I really wish that they get rid of Brown and he goes to the Patriots.
I don't know where this Patriots is getting AJ Brown thing started. It started in the offseason and now it's just bled over into the season.
I
Again,
mean,
I don't
it's
think it'll ever
wild.
happen. He's
I
tied up with contracts. Like the
It's
amount of
fair. No,
dead cap they would get trading
I
him would be
I
not
know.
worth it.
I totally agree. I totally agree, but that would be fun if that was able to happen.
It would not be
Because
fun.
the Patriots are looking for a number 1 receiver, and even though Diggs is there, we need to utilize him a little bit more. He is the number 1 target right now, but yeah, anyway, I wish that happened. But
It's not
Bills,
gonna.
they're gonna beat the
It's not gonna.
Patriots. It is what it is.
Yeah, we're both going Bills. Even though again, if Patriots won, I feel like it's going to be a big talking point. I don't think I would be that shocked if the Patriots beat this Bills team. Again, I'm not really that high on this Bills
I'm
team.
trying not to be a homer and think the same way, but I mean, there's a possibility, especially if they play the way they did last week and they don't turn over the football. I mean, there's a possibility, but I
That
marked
Bills
this on my
Saints game was close. That
I
was
know.
close for 3 quarters. That was a
I
close game.
marked this game. I marked this game Bills, and I'm going to stick to it. I got to go get my son. So start on the next game.
Yeah, Bills. I think last mid game we have to do is 2-2 Chiefs at 3-1 Jaguars. Again, I don't think you can look at that Chiefs Ravens game and now everybody's going to go, "Oh, well, they're back. Chiefs are back." And it's just like, I don't know, are they? Like the Ravens again in that game lost 3 more defensive starters, one for the season on an already bad defense. Like they lost more people in an injury plagued defense and then obviously won that game easily. Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns and it's like he's back and it's just like, yeah, but he's not playing the Ravens defense every week. Like, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, who many people, not myself, have said is the greatest quarterback to ever play the position, most talented, blah, blah, blah. You hear that take all the time. That guy should be throwing 4 touchdowns and completing 70% of his passes against the worst defense in the league. Like, I don't care if their name is the Baltimore Ravens. They're still the worst defense in the league by a wide margin. So yeah, they should be doing that, especially when their defense throughout that game got worse because of injuries. And then the star quarterback on the other side got knocked out with a potential month-long injury. Like, not to discredit the Chiefs, but suddenly everybody being like, no issues with the Chiefs anymore. They solved it in 1 week. It's just like that's not how it happens. So that being said, the Jaguars, again, a team I've undervalued all season, is 3-1. 2 of those victories coming against what is it? The Texans and Panthers, who are 2 teams worst in the league. But then again, they also beat the 49ers last week. So when it comes to it's going to be in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's 3-1, Chiefs are 2-2. Who you got, Casino?
You know what? KC's only favored by 3.5. This is my upset pick of the week. I am gonna go
Ooh.
Jacksonville.
Ooh.
Again, I know what the Chiefs have been doing, right? I know what they've been doing. They should win this game, right? They should win this game, and then it goes into next week where that's when we can have our conversations because who do they have again? They have the Lions, and that's what we need to see, right? But I'm gonna go Jacksonville. I know Trevor Lawrence, he's doing what he does. He's 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they're going to be able to pressure Mahomes a little bit, and this will be close. This will be a close game, but I'm hoping the Jags can put it out. And I'm just putting this into the ether that Jags get this upset. I need to pick an upset of the week. This is what I'm picking.
Yeah, I'm still picking the Chiefs in this game. I think why this is mid is because this will be an ugly game. Again, last week the 49ers Jags game was ugly. This or also Chiefs Ravens was also ugly. And when you stepped away, I was saying how everybody just throws up their hands and says the Chiefs are just back, but it's like the former three-time Super Bowl winner, MVP, all that kind of stuff, Patrick Mahomes should be having those games against the worst defense in the league. Like he should be. So I don't think
Exactly.
that just whitewashes the rest of the games we've seen him have this season.
And that's
Uh
where I am. That's why. Thank you for saying that. That's where I'm at. Is it was that more of the Ravens playing bad than the Chiefs playing excellent.
Yes. And more of the Ravens just being bad this year, especially with all the injuries and all the weirdness going on with that team. And again, the Jaguars are not good, but they're getting it done in a way that's kind of very Arizona Cardinal like, which is just like I don't know. Me and this guy on TikTok were arguing about where he said, "Oh, what do the Giants do good?" And then he just cherry picked like a couple Jaguars things. But when you look at this Jaguars team as a whole, I don't think they're good. Their defense, again, definition of middle of the road. They're 15th in the league. Their offense is what is it? Oh man, their offense is 10th in total offense, mostly due to their running game. Their passing attack is 18th in the league. Trevor Lawrence hasn't looked good. I'm going Kansas City only because they're
No, that's
Kansas
the safe
City.
call.
Yeah, only because they're Kansas City. I have no real reason why they should beat this Jaguars team. But again, I don't understand this Jaguars team at all. Now let's move on to the good games and then get out of here. We're going long casino, but we don't really have that many good games because most of the games were in mid or ugly. So first good game, and breaking news while we're on the pod. 3-1 49ers at 3-1 Rams Thursday night football. The breaking news is that Purdy is out for this game. It will be Mac Jones coming in for the 49ers. Purdy's
Got the
out with
Mac
a toe
attack.
injury. Yeah. So does and again, Mac Jones has looked better with this team this season than Purdy has. Because again, it seems like Purdy's dealing with a lot of nagging injuries. Who you got in this one, Casino?
I'm gonna go Rams, even though I like Mac Jones and what he's been doing under that offensive mindseted coach with Shanahan. So I am still gonna go Rams. I like their team better. Um, I just don't know how the Niners are 3-1 with how banged up they are, and I think the Rams will expose that on Thursday.
Yeah, I agree. I am also going with Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, the Rams. Again, the Matthew Stafford's having a great season, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 68% completion percentage. Kyron Williams has over 300 yards, and Nakua has 500 yards and 1 touchdown 4 games into the season. That's insane. That's crazy. I don't
He's
think.
a phenom. Oh, by the way, update on Puka Nakua. My daughter doesn't like Puka Nakua anymore. She's like, stop saying his name. Stop saying his name.
Oh wow.
I
Wow.
don't
What a
love
turning
hate for
point.
her. Yeah, love and hate
And
apparently
then
now.
all of a sudden he started having the best season. Maybe your daughter was the one holding him back. Like you never know.
Stupid.
Sports are weird. But yeah, I think we're both going Rams. I just don't think the 49ers are too banged up, too beaten up. Already a beaten up injured team on a short week. I think the Rams again are going to be licking their chops to but again, Thursday night games are weird. If the 49ers won, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Next up, oh, I don't this one skipped casinos, but I guess we're putting it in a good game. The 6:30 a.m. 2-2 Vikings at 1-3 Browns. Let's
Oh,
retroactively put this in
jeez.
mid. It's in London for the
Um, yeah, mid, sure.
sure. This is ugly. All of the morning games are so bad. Uh, let's just quickly touch on this one. Wentz versus Flacco, Vikings, Browns. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Vikings just because the Vikings didn't have to travel. They've been already over there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, They did not have to go as far as the Browns just had to travel. So for that reason, Vikings in a really barn burner of a game. Um, I mean, the total over under for this game is 36 and a half.
Ugh. This is
Jesus.
that's all you get if you're a Vikings Browns fan. I'm also going Vikings just because again, Joe Flacco is bad. Maybe we'll see Dylan
He's
Gabriel or
not bad.
Shador.
He's just old.
I mean, that's
There's
well,
some difference.
he's thrown 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the season. He's
He is
old
not
and bad. That's
he's
that's
not
both.
bad. He's not bad. He's old. You can't they need to get a new quarterback in there.
Retroactively, we're putting this game in ugly because again, the time zone, the time when this game starts, Browns Vikings, yuck.
This game
Next up,
starts by the time I'm getting ready to, like, go to sleep. So,
yeah. Next up, the game Casino convinced me goes from mid to good, and that is 2-2 Broncos at my 4-0 Philadelphia Eagles.
gonna be a good game.
Thoughts on this one, Casino?
I think the Eagles still pull this off. This is at home for them. I do like the Broncos, though, and I me picking the Broncos to win that division, I still stand by that. I think they're good. I think they're a good team. They've lost 2 heartbreakers, the one via a leverage call, which was just right? And then they played well against uh hi buddy. They played well against the Ram or the Chargers. Thank you. Again, LA teams, right? Chargers, they don't need
Yeah.
this. It is what it is. LA. Um, so yeah, I think this is going to be a good game. They've beaten the bad teams that they're supposed to beat, and they put up a fight against the good teams, which that could have gone either way. Again, 4 points separates those two games. This is going to be fun. I think the Eagles will handle this. I think 3.5 is right on. I would bet more Philly by like 7 or 6, somewhere around there. But yeah, I like this game. This is going to be a fun one to watch. This will be pretty much the only 10 a.m. game that I will really give any two shits about. So
Yeah.
yeah,
See, now I always feel bad when the Eagles have 10 a.m. games and it's like, oh, I have to focus on this game, but all these other good games are going on that I kind of
there's
want to like
no
check
other
in
good
on.
games.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is a blessing as an Eagles fan this week where none of the other games I have to pay attention to or even think about to solely focus on the Eagles Broncos. And again, I was going to put this in mid because I just think Casino's got a stuffed animals. I just think that even though the Eagles, again, outside of that Rams game, they've just been playing ugly, ugly games. They haven't been able to put a half together. I do think if you look back at that Bucks Eagles game, the offense was humming the entire game, and the only time it stalled was right after Jalen Hurts got that uh flag picked up on the Bucks where he was sliding. And I love what is it? When it comes to flags and penalties in the NFL, I love how Baker Mayfield in that game got hit like this in the helmet by like just somebody like trying to hit the side of his head, and he like got hit on the side of the helmet with somebody's hand, like open hand, like a karate chop almost.
But by
And
the rule,
well,
that is
yeah,
still a penalty.
well, that's what I'm saying. That's a 15-yard penalty. The guy shooting himself like a torpedo at Jalen Hurts as he's sliding and missing his helmet by an inch, not a penalty. Not a penalty
Well, he
because the
didn't
guy
hit the
missed by
helmet.
not
Sorry,
by
for
a
those of you who are just
penalty.
listening, my son was giving me all of his stuffed animals. So Mr. Moo Cow says not a penalty because it didn't hit the helmet.
Yeah, you can launch and try to murder the guy, but if you miss him by an inch, not a penalty. Your hand slaps against the other guy's helmet, 15 yards,
Yeah.
roughing the passer.
Okay. Haven't you seen anything? I mean, have you ever watched a oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the name? Mike Myers, Judo Chop.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Yeah.
why am I
But
blanking on it? Austin
I
Powers. Yeah, so Austin Powers. Remember, so I mean, the karate chops, man, are pretty lethal. They're
yeah.
pretty lethal.
I mean, I guess a karate chop is more lethal than, again, launching your
A
entire
judo chop
body
is.
at full speed
A
at
judo
someone's
chop
head.
100% is.
Yeah. But then the whole point of that is after he got that
We're
hit
not
where his
going in the garage.
helmet kind of bounces off the ground, that's where he didn't complete another pass the rest of that game afterwards. So I'm going to chalk that up to him probably being concussed and they didn't take him out of the game and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Again, Bo Nix not having a bad season, 66% completion percentage, 861 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Hurts, 5 touchdowns passing. How many does he have rushing? Five passing, 4 rushing. Doesn't have a turnover on the season, outside of I think a
But
fumble.
just 1 turnover,
So
that's great for him.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. 9
Phenomenal.
touchdowns, 1 turnover. I'm going with the Eagles. I'm not
You
doing
better.
reverse jinx on this one. I think they handle the Broncos at home. I expect a lot of AJ Brown targets in this game because he's just spent the whole week just doing what AJ again, you know that meme where it's what is it? James Franco hanging and he says first time and he's like looking to the left. When people now in the media are talking like, "Uh-oh, AJ Brown is unhappy," it's just like he's been on the Eagles for what, 4 or 5 years. He does this every season. This is not new. This is where everybody's like, they're trading him, they're trading him. It's just like, no, they're not. He does this every season. It's just week 5 this time instead of week 9. Like it's just it happens every season. First time? No, it's not
Yeah,
the
with
first
them being
time.
on a Super Bowl run here, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, they're undefeated. And again, the one game where they did this huge comeback was the one game he had like 10 catches or 11 catches in the second half. Like he's had a game this season where he took over the game and like basically led them to victory. So again, he's been targeted 28 times. Again, I just think he gets more targets and yards. He's a diva wide receiver, and I love him, but he's very clearly a diva wide receiver. So we're both going Eagles on that one. Uh,
And
Next
now
up,
best game
casino.
of the week, you and I both agree.
Oh, let me find it. Let me find it.
That was the
Buccaneers
Cincy.
Seahawks.
That's it. No. Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
I had
the
to think
last
about the
game, right?
TikTok. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. The best game of the week, I agree, is going to be the Buccaneers at
Totally.
the Seattle Seahawks, 3-1, 3-1. Who you got in this one?
I said on my TikTok I was gonna go Bucks. Now that as I've sat here and my son yelling at me, I've got to, you know what? I'm going to switch over. I'm going to go Seattle in this one. I love the Bucks and I love Baker, but I've got to trust what I picked is Seattle winning this division. We know
Mhm.
that Tampa's going to win their division because I just don't have any faith in anybody in that division outside of possibly the Falcons. But after they put up that stinker against the Panthers, the Bucks are going to win this. That I'm gonna move over to Seattle. I hope you don't hate me for that one. I'm gonna go to Seattle. I like what Sam Darnold's been doing. I like this team. Walker's been playing well, and yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with this. Let's go Seattle. I'm gonna stick on that train.
No. I picked on the TikTok, I picked the Seahawks, and I'm sticking with the Seahawks. I
I
think
know.
yeah. Again, the Bucks offense is the Bucks offense being so good kind of underrates how good the Bucks defense is. They're 4th in the league in total defense, the Buccaneers, and then their offense what is it? Is 15th. So they actually have a better
Which
defense
is
than they do
crazy because Baker
offense.
Mayfield is 8 touchdowns, 1 interception.
I know,
He's had a
but
really good season so far.
But
Ugh,
there's not outside of what, like Arrowhead, I don't think there's a better field where you get home field advantage than in Seattle. Like that Seattle stadium, they call it the
it
12th man for a reason. It's a
Yeah,
hard place to
it's
play.
loud. I mean,
Yeah.
between Arrowhead and that stadium, they trade back and forth the loudest stadium in the league.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And
Seattle fans show up. I mean, there's nothing really to do up in Seattle besides get rained on. So I mean, of course they're going to go out there and have a good time.
also again, the Bucks, their games, they won 3 against the Falcons, 1 point against the Texans, 2 points against the Jets. Last week was a blowout for almost half of that game, maybe three-quarters of that game, and then again, I think Hurts got a concussion on that slide where his head bounces off, and then that offense kind of stalled out. But a lot of people are going to look at that game and be like 31-25, that was close. It was a two possession game almost 90% of that game. And
I
again,
agree. That's the
uh
Eagles being good, bud. That's the Eagles being
well,
an
that's what I'm
undefeated
saying.
team
But
and
that's the
also
first good that team they've played this season, and it wasn't even close. So I'm saying now they're traveling to another good team, which again, we both like the Seahawks before the season. I think they have blown our expectations out of the water
no,
by
they
week
haven't blown my
5.
expectations out of the water. This is what I expected. I
Yeah,
expected them to be
Sam
good.
Darnold, again, Sam Darnold's good. Baker Mayfield's better. Sam Darnold's good, but I think the team around the Seahawks, offensively and
Yeah.
defensively,
And they're 4
underrated.
they're 4 points away in week 1 against a division rival from being who was fully healthy in that game
Yeah,
from
exactly.
from being 4-0 right now. I like
Yeah.
Seattle a lot. That's why I'm moving over to Seattle. But again, I love what the Bucks and they almost did it. I get your point. With I get your point about the Eagles Bucks game. And it wasn't close until it was kind of close because the Bucks somehow are able to figure it. Yes, the refs and the calling and all that stuff. I get your takes
Well,
on that.
also, but I'll
But you
take all
gotta
that
cap
out.
but you gotta capitalize on that, and the Bucks were capitalizing on that. So,
Yeah, but that game ended on a bad Baker Mayfield turnover.
yeah,
So, again, which
okay,
also he had those throws in the other games that just weren't
right, a
caught.
bad Baker
So,
turnover. His
yeah,
first interception of the season. Okay, that
I
that
know.
happens.
I
So, I mean, you
again,
go
I'm
you go 4 games you go 4 games and you throw a bad interception and it loses your game when you almost could have stopped the Eagles' run, who they have not lost a game in for ages. So,
yeah. No, I
again,
agree.
I like the Bucks and I like their grit, and that's what makes them a good team, but I like Seattle better. I think Seattle is very underrated right now.
Seattle top they are 13th in total offense and defense. 13th across the board. So, will that be an unlucky number for the Bucks? I think it will be. I think it will be. And with that being said, Casino, that was my tease voice. With that being said, that was the good, the mid, and the ugly NFL Week 5 update on
Guess
our
what?
picks.
We ran out of time for a Casino Corner episode.
Yeah, exactly. As we always do. But
I'll
going
just
into
go
this
back to
week,
my corner.
Casino is leading by one game. And I always love to do this. The quarterbacks he is betting on to beat me this week are Jackson Dart, Cooper Rush, and Trevor Lawrence.
It worked so great for
So,
me last week.
yeah. And the
I told
quarterbacks
you,
I have,
after I lost last year, and I need to take more risks this year, like I
yeah.
did 2 years ago, and I knocked it out of the park.
The quarterbacks I have in those games compared to Casino are Spencer Rattler, CJ Stroud, and this guy called Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah. Those are the 3 games we have difference. Giants,
Feeling
Saints,
confident.
Ravens,
I love
Texans,
when you do this. I'm feeling confident.
Jacksonville, and the Chiefs. So yeah. And then I'm sorry, blowout was Lions, upset pick was Jacksonville. And then the best game we both agree is going to be Bucks and Seahawks. But what do you think will be the worst game? There's a lot
Uh,
of choices. A
yeah.
lot of choices.
Le I'm gonna go the Saints game.
Saints Giants, you think is going to be the worst game?
I think that's gonna be the worst game.
I'm actually gonna go Texans Ravens. I think will be the worst game.
That's fair.
So I think, and then best game we agreed. My upset pick of the week. Who I don't think I have an upset pick this week.
We'll just pick one.
It would be
Yeah, pick a team that you picked here.
hmm, upset is the no that you said the Texans are favored right against the Ravens.
Yes, minus yep. So there's your upset.
Well, no, they're favored. I picked the Texans.
Oh, okay.
So my
Yeah, I don't think you
upset
have any.
I don't think I don't are the Rams favored? The Rams have to be favored.
The Rams are favored.
Yeah, so I don't have an upset pick of the week. Uh yeah.
Suck to suck.
Unless who's the favorite in the Panthers game?
Miami by 1.5.
Oh, there you go. So that's my
Go.
upset. I picked the Panthers. That's my upset. So there we go. That's week 5 in the NFL. We ran out of time for the other stuff.
Per usual.
Yeah, but there you go. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. This has been the Only Sports Podcast. It's orange because it's spooky. I'll see you on Friday where I will do my uh I'll do my Super Bowl bubble. I'll do my top 32. I will
Am I
do
really
Casino's top
distracting you
10
that
list.
much?
Yeah. I'll do my top 10 list or Casino's top 10 list as well on Friday. So pack show Friday, solo show, just me. And then Casino and I will be back Monday. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. Only Sports Podcast. Adios.